We have made it at last. Hello, everybody. We are live for Friday Dungeons and Dragons. Thank all of you on Twitch for tuning in and watching along with us. Sorry it took so long to get started. We were discussing some technical issues and changes to the stream that are coming, but we'll get into that a little later. So, guys, last session we left off with the incredibly strong Scar leading you to the kingdom of Fredericksburg. You came across well, some rather nasty plants that wanted to eat you. You got rid of those and moved on to a small campsite up the road where you didn't have to smell the death and decay of rotting plants. Reload our scene, and I'll get us loaded in. Anyone watching will notice that we are short one evil. We don't know where she is. Hopefully she will join us soon.
Just FYI, I'm having a little bit of connection troubles. I'm just reloading the page and trying in a private browser.
Okay. So you guys had arrived at this path. It was late in the evening. Star highly recommended that you did not approach Fredericksburg at night. He suggested you rest, recover your strength, and go see it in the morning.
All right. So shall we prepare for the night?
Yeah.
Light here. And 5 viewers. Can't complain about that. Alright, so you guys are going to prepare for the night. Scar offers to take watch.
Misty offers to watch with Scar.
Yes. In case the vampire decides to eat us in our sleep.
He just sort of scoffs at the mention of a vampire.
He's not pale enough for a vampire.
I'm telling you, it's 3-1.
I don't know, he doesn't look very dead to me.
Maybe some kind of hybrid thing. Vampire, dragon vampire.
No, of course he doesn't look dead, but you see, that's the thing about vampires. They got these eyes, lifeless eyes, like a doll. And you never really know they're alive until they come at you, and then I don't remember.
If you look closely, you will see that there's fire in these eyes. They're burning. Or maybe it's just the reflection from the campfire. What do I know?
All right, point granted.
Either way, I'll look for a corner that is not as wet and dirty as the rest.
No, it's not actually raining, but it looks like it might.
I can just cast my magical tent.
Oh yeah, you can bring up the hutty.
Yep. Let's do it. I shall summon my hut, my teepee.
Your
It'll
teepee.
take me. Yes.
This is gonna be funny. One TP.
Cozier than I remember.
I like Moulinet. I'm able to add things like that very quickly.
Ah, look who decided to be reasonable and load the game.
I will actually use one of my wild shapes to summon my wild companion, the silver fox Esaria.
I think we should have a little bit of company. Can help keeping a watch.
What the heck? You have a dog? How could I miss that?
It is a fox. Named after my wife, my late wife.
Huh. All right.
So, oh, I always wondered what actually happened to your wife.
Oh, I think I shared that story with you already, did I not?
I think we know the high level, but not the details.
Yeah, she
Why would you
was.
want the details about somebody dying?
She was just. She was found dead at the by the creek where we always fetched the water. And everybody blamed me for it.
And how do you know it was the hag? Did she tell you?
No, but when I befriended the wolves, they told me that a hag was around at that time, lurking around in the bushes. So that's when I started trying to track them down. But I wasn't successful. I was not as experienced. Only after I met you guys.
You know, they always say that violence is a circle and revenge only begets more revenge. But we just murdered these 3 old ladies and nothing bad happened to us. Doesn't that
That's why
make
I
you
say.
think?
Yeah, but keep in mind the bad thing happened before to me. We just kind of returned the favor. Closed the circle, if you will.
Well, that makes
Did we
sense.
already kill all 3 of them? I thought we only killed 2 of them.
No, we had all 3.
Oh.
But there was another one lurking around somewhere, if I remember correctly.
There was indeed. There was a fourth.
But I think we found the one that killed Saria. So my thirst for revenge is gone. I think that was.
I am very distracted by this story.
Yeah. Also, how come we can see outside? The dome is transparent. The dome is not transparent.
Oh, you can see out of it.
There we go.
Can't see into it. Aha. So Alphonse and Alfric, the two of you don't really hear anything, being distracted by Dor's story. Dor, you, however, hear this wail floating on the wind. It's enough to literally chill the blood in your body. Hear it.
Oh, can
Alfred just
Can
be
you-
like, this is just Tuesday evening.
can you hear that? Oh, that gives me goosebumps.
And I'm a hairy guy, so when I have goosebumps, I get all fluffy.
Oh, perhaps it is time to tell spooky stories.
I think I had my share of spooky stories with you guys. We
Oh,
fought
too
all
bad.
kind of creepy undead, and creepy
going to-
crawler, and creepy plants, and creepy everything.
But have you ever thought a false hydra?
I don't think I have.
Oh, now settle in. Alphonse takes a torch from his bag, lights it over the campfire, and puts it below his head, so as to so as to make the lighting a bit more dramatic. A false hydra
There was
is a
a little
mythical.
bit. There was a hint of a beard around your chin, but that's gone now.
A false hydra smells like chicken. Anyway, where was I? It's a mythical creature that sprouts from the ground like a hydra between many heads, sometimes over nature, sometimes under settlements. The legends say it is born out of the lies that villagers and citizens speak every day. What it does is that once it forms a body, heads will sprout. Heads with gnashing, horrible teeth out of the ground, but nobody can see them, for they sing a special song which renders them invisible and impossible to memorize. Buddy. And slowly, slowly they grow and creep like undead trees, eating every villager. And the people they eat, everybody immediately forgets about. They continue doing this until the town is no more, and everybody who goes in never goes out again.
That sounds like my mother-in-law.
Yes.
Um, how does Scar react on these stories?
Scar himself doesn't seem to be paying much attention to you. You notice his head is kind of cocked to the side as if he's listening to the same wail that you heard.
Did I hear it
Now,
again, or was it a one-time thing?
24, you actually hear it several times throughout the night, but never anything distinct, like you could say it's coming from over there or it's coming from over there. It just seems to be floating on the wind.
I don't know. This area is giving me the heebie-jeebies.
yeah.
I don't like it here. Nature is not a circle here. Nature is like a
Nature is a
creepy,
square.
creepy grave.
Anyway, I wonder what Robert is doing. He went to take a leak a while ago. I haven't seen him since.
A voice from the ether says, "Who the hell is Robert?"
Oh my god, you don't remember Robert? It's gotten inside our heads. The false Hydra is here.
I knew that was coming. Somebody had to take the bait. Might as well be the dungeon master.
Thank you for your sacrifice.
I think I will go to sleep now, but Misty will look out for me.
Right. Well, speaking of leaks, I shall go to the bathroom. Prestidigitate away something in nature. Goodbye, gentlemen.
Now, if you exit, the thing dispels.
Oh.
That's
True.
that's
But
the way the spell works.
I can't do it in front of all of you. I won't do that. You're just gonna have to bear with me, alright?
We saw you pooping into the forest every day. Come
You
on.
were watching?
Of course I was. I enjoy that. You're giving back to nature. It's nature's a circle time, right?
Oh my god. Alright, I'll hold it in.
And I appreciate that you always use the older leaves for wiping. It's good thinking.
Let me go read my grimoire in the corner.
I bent over to the fox. Isaria, will you keep an eye up, at least for the next 2 or 3 hours? I think I'll have a nap now if I can sleep. Creepy shit around here.
Since I remembered how to use the command correctly.
That gives a nice tickle, that's true.
Alright. So let's see what happens tonight. Are any of you joining Scar for watch duty?
Misty is.
And Isaria is? The Foxy?
Well, then
Okay.
I am, because it's better to have a human for those things. So,
Okay.
Scar.
Hmm.
You know what I've been missing all this time we've been camping? Maybe you can relate. The taste of a virgin's blood. What about you? What do you crave for?
Maybe an ale?
But that's
What
not
the-
very undeady.
What the hell is wrong with you?
Shh, door. I'm just trying to get him to confess, to speak out details that would allow us to find his true vampire identity.
He would just burn you to crisp and then devour you.
Yes.
What do I
But
miss
I'll
while
be right.
camping? What do I miss while out here camping? Simple.
Yes.
Peace. Quiet.
He's right, you know.
Like the peace and quiet of a tomb. I believe that's one more point for the vampire.
I think you're not concerned about peace, you're concerned about your piss at the moment. But what are you hanging? Just an old man here, maybe.
That I am. If only I had a spell scroll for create and destroy water.
You can just pee in your pants and press the shiki patch. Just make it go away.
So sorry, but I'm not an apprentice wizard anymore. We don't do that sort of thing now.
I won't tell anybody.
It was a really dark time in my life.
The DM cat has arrived. The TPK is imminent. Especially if he keeps clawing my leg. Stop it.
But
Right.
we are within a tent of invulnerability, so Or a teepee, rather.
Right. So the night actually passes rather uneventfully. The sun rises the next morning. Star tells you that if you follow this path, it'll lead you straight to Fredericksburg. He offers you one final warning that if you're truly set on this course, please remember that Fredericksburg is not a place to be. Sun goes down. Explore as you will, but return here before the sun sets. I will wait. Keep the camp going.
Well, why aren't you coming with us?
Nothing there that interests me.
Because everybody's already dead.
Because there's not much gold.
Oh, that's true.
Maybe next time we come, we should bring some ale. I mean, more than what we had.
Yeah. I need to make a new batch, actually.
Alright, well, shall we set out for Fredericksburg then? I wonder what happens at night. I'm kind of tempted to push it.
Alright, so. You guys all see the map?
Yep.
Now,
Down just
when
a
you
little
go
bit.
in, remember to plug your ears at all times so that you cannot hear the song of the Hydra.
But then I cannot hear your amazing stories either.
What? What?
Exactly.
What the hell is wrong with you guys? Stuffed ears won't help you when the dragon comes. I'll tell you that.
So, the path from the camp winds its way around a small hill and a corpse of trees. The further from the camp you get, the thicker and more oppressive the mist around you becomes. After nearly an hour of walking without being able to see more than a few feet in front of you, the mist clears slightly, and there, just in the distance, is a very run-down keep. While everyone has been calling it a castle, in reality it's nothing more than a well-fortified keep. It could possibly house 20 or so people at one time, but even that would be pushing this place to its limits. There seems to be no signs of life of any kind, not even animals. The gates stand open, offering free entry to the courtyard. Getting closer, you can see that while the place does look to be run down and in need of some upkeep, the gates look serviceable. The courtyard seems to be mostly free of weeds and debris, and the path leading to the main entrance, whose doors are closed, looks to be almost welcoming.
Guys, this is amazing. We could claim this castle for ourselves. Why didn't we camp here in the first place?
I can't hear you. I plugged my ears. Use sign language.
Where the hell is Robert?
We don't
So-
talk about Robert.
Alfric, as the keep comes into sight and you move closer, you have this strange feeling, this sense of outrage, anger. And then it's gone, replaced by a sense of smug contentment.
Okay.
What do you guys want to do? You gonna go ahead and approach the castle? You gonna
Mhm.
go inside? What are you doing?
Before
feel
we go
like
inside, I would get Misty to fly around it while looking through its eyes.
as for
Okay.
I will keep Hercules safely
s-
tucked in my coat.
To see if there is maybe a back door. And also if there are any interesting features in areas we can't see. Perhaps enemies around it.
Okay.
Shouldn't
Can you
we
make
just
a
go and knock?
perception check for Misty?
Yes. Ooh. Oh,
That's-
it had advantage, not disadvantage.
I was gonna
So
say,
it would be the other.
why is Misty rolling at disadvantage?
Yeah. So it's actually 18.
18. Right. The castle looks much as I described. Serviceable, but rundown. Misty doesn't see a single person. Not one. There are other entrances up on the ramparts, the towers. Not so much a back door. Only the one gatehouse that leads into the courtyard.
Looks empty to me. Let's go in.
We're going.
Well,
Knock
gentlemen,
on the
before we
door.
do that, I feel like if we split up, then we would cover more ground and figure out this place more easily. What do you think?
It's a small place. Why do you want to split up?
I don't know, it's just what happens when I read these stories about haunted castles. People go in and split up.
And because they are stupid, we need to be stupid now as well.
I don't like those
Okay.
stories. Black people always get killed first. Look at me.
You mean dwarves, right?
Hey, I might be slow, but I'm not black.
You know, Drow always get killed first in those. I don't like those. Let's stay together.
That's true, the bard industry is really rotten. Anyway, let's get in.
Alright. And you don't have tokens on this scene, do you?
Nope.
Mm-hmm. Because I forgot to add them.
Can you give me a Misty token as well?
Rick, Alphonse, or Misty. Wow, your tokens are really big compared to everybody else's.
You know what? This place looks pretty fancy. It could be the seat of a vampire.
Yeah, who are those people over there?
Wait a second.
2 seconds here. I'm just sort of adjusting tokens a little bit.
That's a nice sword.
So, and one last one. Right. So, entering, you see two gleaming sets of armor flank a short hall that opens into a grand banquet hall. The interior is amazingly devoid of any kind of dust or dirt. And at the far end of the hall, you see two figures seated on thrones, watching your approach. One looks to be a small wisp of an older woman in a hooded cloak. The other seems to be a mountain of a man in a a dark full plate armor that faintly glows around the edges. His eyes are nothing more than two smoldering points of light recessed into the helm.
Greetings. We are but weary travelers, and we would like to invoke upon you, kind lord and lady of this keep, the law of hospitality.
Also, he needs to pee.
Please.
Yeah, you haven't been yet, right?
I haven't.
Does that one look undead to me?
He kinda does, yeah. I was trying to find his token, and for the life of me, I can't find it. Right, it's Lord Frederick. Entity. Frederick. Ah, there we go. So, view token. Character artwork, there we go. So I'll show this to you guys. That's basically what he looks like.
Yeah, lawful good.
Totally.
Servant of evil, like ourselves, huh?
As you approach, his voice echoes across the hall. Who are you that disturbs my... Wait. What is that I smell? You stink of her. She sent you. Has she at last decided to end my torment, to rid me of this cursed existence? And she sends you in her place. Know this, I will not walk into the void willingly. I will fight for my existence, even if it is in this wretched form. His eyes flare brightly. He lifts his sword, pointing it in your direction.
We don't want to kill you, sir.
I
Why
didn't
would we?
even know you are here, to be honest.
Also, who's she?
Robert, maybe? Was Robert a she?
Don't think so, but I wouldn't remember.
But good Lord Frederick, is there perhaps something we could do to lift this curse? It sounds like you are not satisfied with it.
Yes, I've had a few spats with the goddess of death myself. I know how to get out of there.
The queen did not send you to end me.
The queen is not as talkative as you seem to think. We were just pursuing another party which seemingly was meant to pass through this area.
Also, I don't follow what the queen, quote unquote, says. And I don't pay taxes.
He sits back down on his throne. His wife approaches. Please forgive my husband. Quite touchy at times. Servants of the Raven Queen are our home. Please come, join us for a meal. Tell us why you have come to our castle.
Well, we have come to beseech of you the right to hospitality. More precisely, could you point me to the direction of the bathroom?
She tells you that there's a latrine outside. Just go back out the door you came, round the side.
Huh. Thank you.
Don't let
I
the
go
Hydra
trying
bite you.
to. I go trying to make sure Dora doesn't watch.
I stay here, don't worry.
So, what brings you to Fredericksburg? We have not had visitors in quite.
Maybe it's because it's not cleaned up outside.
But you must have come here for something.
Do we still have the letter we found?
The book.
Yeah.
Actually, Alphonse comes back, buttoning his fly. Actually, we should keep our cards to ourselves. Try to give as little information as you can, my friend. He whispers to Alfric.
Well, you are saying that Alfric is like, okay, so we found this book, and you know, do I still have the book? Because I can't
You
find it in the notes thing.
you do still have
Yeah.
the book, and it was. Did I not give you a journal of it?
Yes, the book of the legendary Anari travel guide. And we've been scouting out all the legendary travel locations.
That's not it. Apparently, I did not give you the. Apparently, I did not give you the journal. I'll make sure that I create the journal and give you guys permission to see it. So basically, it was the writing back and forth between two people discussing a dragon by the name of Shade. And the person was told to come to Fredericksburg, and from Fredericksburg, travel to Shade's lair and tell her that she is summoned immediately.
Okay. Well, Alfric will say, so yes, in that travel book that Alphonse is talking about, there was talk about being able to reach Shade's lair through here. Do you have any idea how that works?
I don't know much of anything about a dragon named Shade. I know that she once had a lair to the west of here.
A dragon, that means a horde.
Well, have you had anybody pass by recently trying to get there?
Not that we have met, no.
Right, inside
As
this?
I was about to say, can I check and see if I believe that?
sure. She seems to be very honest. She has seen no one other than your party, and she is quite surprised to have seen your party.
As you gaze into her soul.
Dor, you do notice that something about her speech is off.
Okay.
It reminds you just the tiniest bit of those blood-curdling wails you were hearing the night before.
Can I ask you maybe a bit of a stupid question, but have
Dora, you
we
better not ask if the lady's a whale.
no, but have we maybe met before or heard before? You have a very impressive voice, but it's oh, I bet you've been a singer, right?
Indeed. I sing my husband's tale each night.
Ah, there we go.
And
Are you a bard of some sort, my lady?
I'm sorry, what was that?
Are you a bard of some sort, my lady?
No, just a simple performance.
I lean over to Alphonse when he was playing. I said, maybe the earplugs weren't a bad idea.
Where's Robert?
We don't talk about Robert.
So, how come your husband is so worried about the Raven Queen? She knew we were coming here and didn't even mention him to us. Clearly, she doesn't see him as a threat.
Let us just say that he and the Raven Queen are at odds with each other.
Oh, is it because you're immortal, maybe? That sounds cool. How'd you pull it
You,
off?
you can't ask people if they're immortal.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to offend.
Well, Alphonse, you would actually hear, just behind you, 3 women chanting some arcane language, standing over a circle, burnt patch on the ground.
Can I make out any of the arcane?
Not really close enough to hear them other than a distant whisper. If you moved closer, it's one of the neatest features of this map. You can move closer and they get louder.
Oh. Then I will take a stroll to stretch my legs from this table. Oh, hello there, ladies. Please don't let me interrupt. Yes, I can hear it now.
Yeah, it gets louder as you get closer. So, let's see. You do speak Elvish. They're speaking a very old dialect of Elvish. And their chant is about the one who betrayed the gods' trust and was forever cursed by them.
Oh, is that me? Do they know of my legend? Amazing. Oh, what a story.
So, the Lord Frederick speaks up once more. Tells you that the Dragon Shade was once a menace to this area. Spent many days harassing the village that once surrounded our keep. But that the dragon was killed long ago. Her lair should still exist if you wish to search it.
Who killed the dragon, sir?
Adventurers like yourselves.
I wish I could kill a dragon one day.
Please, please. Enough to speak of dragons and killing. Will you join us for a meal? Perhaps stay the night?
Of course, says Alphonse, who was already seated.
Well, actually, would love to. I'm a bit hungry, if I'm honest. And I'll walk over and sit down as well.
Wonderful.
Alfric is now not how they say. He's been told by Scar not to stay the night. Can I try to like insight her and try to figure out if this is some kind of trap?
Sure. Make an insight check. 16. She does seem rather anxious to get you to stay. But as your friends seat themselves, she claps her hands, and you see as the the two doors over here open, and invisible servants come out and start laying out platters of food. There are salads and steaks and big chunks of chicken and ham. A picture of mead is set on the table. Please, please, enjoy.
Oh, no, we're talking.
Mm, Where do you get all this food from, considering the area is pretty dead?
Oh, we have our ways.
It's probably summoned food, Alfric.
Ah, summoned food, the best kind
Yeah.
of food.
Exactly. Well, Fons digs in.
Misty takes a bite first, and then Alfric waits a bit to see if Misty is alright, and if yes, Alphonse starts eating. Alfric starts eating.
The food's
Don't worry.
quite good. Well prepared, seems quite fresh.
Is the Lord
Alphonse, what are
eating
you
anything?
reading on? Um, he and his wife, neither one eat anything. They just watch you eat.
Nothing suspicious here.
Nope,
Oh,
not at all.
nothing. Oh, nothing suspicious.
Maybe
Yeah.
we arrived after breakfast. What can we say?
Exactly.
You know,
Door
it's very
is
kind for you
is
to receive random
eating it.
visitors like this.
It's been so long since we've had anyone visit, stay. I wish there was more we could do to help you.
Ah, it's fine. We are in a bit of a hurry though. I think we'll go and check out the lair. Then maybe
Are
come
we?
back.
Ah, it would be wonderful for you to return. I'd be sorry to see you go before staying the night. But, if it helps, I seem to remember my Lord Frederick having a map of the area. Perhaps he could mark on it for you where Shade's lair is.
That would be very useful. Also, why would you like us to stay the night? Is there anything cool happening at night? Maybe some performance or a ball or anything
Alfric,
like that?
you're being impolite to our host. Don't set expectations too high. We're already treated to a banquet.
Ah, of course, of course. I'm sorry. My
Also,
curiosity makes me rude sometimes.
on the subject, what is this meat? It's excellent. Is it baboon? Orangutan, maybe? Maybe gorilla?
Beef.
Huh. Tastes like human.
how do you know what?
I did a I did a minor course on alchemy at the Magical Academy. We used to eat the ingredients as a prank to each other.
I actually move away from Alphonse a little bit. No,
It's just teasing.
Nature is a
You're a
circle, you
weirdo.
know. If they die, you have to eat them, otherwise it's a waste.
Bet you've
So-
never tasted a living mandrake.
So while the three of
What?
you are eating, or four, we'll pretend evil is here.
Just before you
She-
do that, Door is just thinking by himself. I just realized my companions are creepier than the hosts today.
What do you mean? You watch me pee?
No, he watched you poo.
Yep.
Perhaps.
And wipe.
And wipe with poison ivy.
Actually, with prestidigitation, you can conjure a trinket for 6 seconds. And in my headcanon, that's enough for like toilet paper.
While you're eating, Alphonse, Alphonse, you notice as the Lady Frederick walks away to fetch the map, a slight glimmer around her body.
Huh. Illusion, magic items. What could it be?
As this is happening, Alfric is trying to search his soul for the origin of his pride that he felt upon seeing this place.
Oh my god, gentlemen, I just forgot. I just forgot to pray to my god before eating. Oh, I will receive 1,000 lashes in the hell which is prepared for me. Please allow me a short ritual before these libations. And Alphonse will start casting Detect Magic as a ritual.
The Alfric, the sense of smug pride that you feel seems to be emanating from staff.
Oh, clearly my staff is proud to be here, so there's nothing wrong whatsoever.
Wait, which one? The normal staff or the one of the Skull Lord?
He's already forgotten what your staff is. Ah,
Oh,
the fool.
the staff of the Raven Queen then.
So, tell me, Mr. Frederick, what happened between you and the Queen?
He just sort of glares, say a word.
Yes, that's much how my conversations go with her too.
So, when the Lady Frederick returns, she unrolls a small map on the table. It's quite old, actually. But she points out a small cave marked on the map with just a quick little handwritten note of shade right underneath its opening. And Alphonse, you definitely get the sense of some sort of illusion magic around her.
Oh, my lady, you are so kind. Please allow me to kiss your ring, as Alphonse offers his hand.
She holds her hand out to you.
Alright, nice. Then I will hold it in my hand and kiss her ring, as is proper. Does the illusion hold up to physical inspection? Or am I touching like bones?
And no, you are not touching bones. It does feel like flesh. However, it feels as cold as the grave.
Huh. Thank you, my lady. Then I shall cast precipitation with my hand and warm hers.
She gives you a brief smile.
I wink and say no more.
She moves back to beside her husband. Well, if you are sure that you can't stay the night, if you truly wish to get to Shade's lair today, you should probably leave as soon as possible. It is quite a walk.
Ah, thank you for the advice. We shall do so. Alfred gets up to leave.
We're not in any hurry, are we?
I'm
Can
not.
go to
I'm not.
Shade's lair
I'm not.
tomorrow.
But if the taxman gets there first and takes all the loot, we need to hurry.
That's true. The tax on inheritance or dead people is the highest of all.
Thor has a little bit of panic in his eyes because food is so really, really delicious. So when nobody's looking, he starts kind of like pocketing some chicken legs. You know, not leaving without this.
All right. So you guys actually going to leave Fredericksburg?
Yes.
We can come back, I guess. But are we going to the Dragon's Lair? You know, I think Robert should be there to see this. I think we should wait for Robert to come back.
Perhaps we should go and find Robert on the way.
Who's Robert?
Well, I don't remember. Alright, well, if we must leave, though this is sad, I hope that we will come back. And to you, my lord and lady, Alphonse whispers, I stole a bunch of shit from the Raven Queen. If that can be of any use, be sure to tell me.
Okay, so as you're leaving, Alphonse, a quick glance over your shoulder, and you see that the Lady Alfric has dropped her glimmer just a little bit.
The Lady Alfric?
Or the
Never had any.
the Lady Fredericks.
She doesn't look so ladylike now, but huh.
And as quickly as it was there, it vanishes.
I bow and give an honest smile.
You make your way out of
As I
Fredericksburg, back down the path, and true to his word, Scar is still waiting for you, right where you left him.
Well, those guys were real nice. This is so sad we couldn't stay the night there.
So,
Scar, you are a bummer.
So Scar, there was this very nice lady who was asking us to stay. Do you know anything about her?
You were wise not to.
How come? Spill the beans,
She was a
as
bit
we say
creepy.
in alchemy class.
She
Have you
was a
ever-
bit creepy though.
Have you ever heard the legend, Artis of Dawn?
Nope.
The mighty paladin slayed Archlich Gitek 1,000 years ago.
Oh, yes, we have actually. But I only knew he killed Gitek with his magic sword, which is now shattered into pieces. What happened to him? And how is this related to Fredericksburg?
Don't even know who you just met, do you?
Oh, was that the guy?
Mr. Creep?
True story of Artis of the Dawn. He betrayed the trust of the gods. He returned to the keep to confront a wife who he thought was unfaithful. The true gift of the gods while wielding the sword Hope was the ability to see the truth in everything, including the lies people spread while speaking. While talking to one of his trusted soldiers, he caught hints of the man coveting his wife, the Lady Frederick. To make a long story short, he thought his wife was cheating on him and ran back to confront her. His squire, faithful as he was, took up the armor and weapons and continued the quest against Gitek. While Artis returned, confronting his wife, he found that she had indeed been faithful, and the thoughts of the soldier had been implanted by the Archlich, confuse and distract Artis. When the squire struck the fatal blow that took down Gitek, the gods, furious with Artis, cursed him for betraying their trust. Raven Queen held the biggest part in this, turning him into a creature unable to die that must relive his greatest failure over all eternity.
Every night, I assume.
Even now, Lady Frederick and her maidens sing the story of the failure, the fall, Artus.
I don't know, it kind of sounds like it's on the gods there. I mean, they could have prevented this and helped. Why'd they punish the guy who was helping them? Untrustworthy folk, I say.
Yeah, it's a bit of a dick move, that's true.
Sorry, could you repeat the part about where Arthas actually betrayed the gods? Because I'm not sure I caught it.
He was entrusted with their power through his blessed sword.
Yes.
He
And he didn't
turned
go to battle.
he turned away from the final battle with the Archlich to confront a woman caught with cheating on him.
So he got distracted. That was the betrayal part. Okay, got it.
In the end, he was a lowly squire, name no one remembers, struck the fatal blow. And yet, Artus is praised day and night, destroying the Archlet. And I think
So
that
how'd you
pains him even more.
so how'd you know this? If everybody thinks the opposite.
Everyone. I may look like some scruffy woodsman, but I read,
And smell like
I
it
am
too.
learned. I am a learned man, much like yourself.
Oh, thank you for the compliment.
Besides, there are others.
And what is your quarrel with the people of Fredericksburg? Why didn't you visit?
Visited them many times.
I'll insight that. Because Alphonse thinks that Scar cannot willingly enter an abode where he hasn't been invited. Because he's a vampire. So let's have some insight.
Oh, he's telling the truth.
Huh, weird.
And you believe
Either
it.
he's telling the truth, or your insight is so low that you believe that he's not.
God, I wish I was better with people. This guy sounds honest. But perhaps he has hypnotized me.
No,
That is what
dra-
vampires do.
dragons can't hypnotize.
So, before we move on to the next map, which would probably include combat, would you guys like to hear the actual true story of Artists of the Dawn?
Yeah, sure.
Yep.
Scar
So
knows the
what was the
entire
next map?
Scar knows the
I was
entire
gonna.
thing.
Please go ahead.
What were you gonna say there?
I was going to suggest we try to solve their curse somewhat before going to Shade's lair.
Okay, well, let's tell you the true story of Artists of the Dawn, and you can decide if there's anything there to try and cure. So, Artists of the Dawn, who was knighted Artists of Fredericksburg, traveled far and wide with his band of knights on a holy quest to destroy the Archlich Gitek. He faced trials set forth by each of the gods he sought the aid of, and he passed them all. In the end, he became the walking embodiment of a dozen gods here on the mortal plane. He verily glowed with the power that had been bestowed upon him. But the gifts of the gods can also be a curse. Together they gifted him with true sight. He could see through any illusion, pierce any darkness with his gaze. This included the darkness of the soul. While speaking to one of his most trusted knights, he discovered that the man seemed to be coveting Artus's wife, the Lady Frederick. Artus confronted the man, and the man confessed to not only coveting her, but having laid with her. Artus was enraged by this blow to his honor. Using the gifts the gods bestowed upon him, he struck down the knight where he stood. But the man's death was not enough to soothe the burn of the wound. Those closest to Artus said that he exited his tent, coated head to toe in crimson, with a fire burning in his silver eyes like they had never seen before. He instructed his knights to break camp. They would be making for the city of Fredericksburg with all haste. When several of his men confronted him about it, all he would say was that he had been betrayed, and the source of that betrayal was in Fredericksburg. Returning to his tent, Artus found his squire, a lad no one can remember the name of, standing over what was left of the ruined body of the knight. He was quaking in fear as he stood there. "Firm up, lad," Artus said. "You've seen dead bodies before." Yes, my lord, but nothing like this," the lad said, indicating the bloody mess on the floor. "He betrayed me and his oath to my family," Artus growled, "as did my once cherished wife." That can't be true, my lord. The lady would never betray you for another." "You know nothing of it," Artus yelled, striking the lad with the back of his hand. "Now, gather my things. We return to Fredericksburg at once." My lord," Marcus asked, "what of the quest? We can't just walk away. You swore oaths to the gods themselves that you would see this through to the end." "The gods be damned. My wife has betrayed me. She betrayed my trust. She betrayed my honor. The gods can wait." "But, my lord, they won't wait. It was foretold that the final battle with Getek would come in the city of Highwood, and the armies of the Archlich are on its borders as we speak. You must go there. The gods demand it." "Know your place, boy, or you will find yourself disgraced and dismissed from my service." The boy squared his shoulders and faced off against his lord. "I have as much honor as you do, my lord. And if becoming a knight means that I have to be like you, then, well, I don't want to be a knight. I won't give up. I will fight the armies of the undead, even if the Archlich himself, if I have to." "Fool! Do you know the trials I have overcome to become who I am?" "Yes," Marcus screamed back. "I was there, right beside you, a loyal squire through each of them. I carried your weapons, bandaged your wounds, stood guard over your prayers to the gods. I suffered each and every trial you did to help you become this monster. You dare think you are worthy of my gifts? No, my lord. You are the one who was chosen to be worthy. Each of the gods tested you, and you were able to overcome all of those tests. I am not worthy of the gifts of the gods, but from where I stand, they don't look like gifts. They look like curses. You are not the knight that I swore my life to. That man is gone. So, you would betray me too." Artus lifted his sword, the sword that he had spent the last 3 decades of his life wielding. The sword that had been blessed by the gods. It glowed with power, filling the tent with its light. The young lad stood his ground, squaring his shoulders and looking his master in the eye. The blade flared brighter as it fell, blinding even Artus. As the sight came back, Artus screamed in outrage. Not only was his squire gone, but so was the god-blessed sword. He raged around the tent for the next hour, destroying anything in his path while he cursed the gods. the young squire, and life in general. Finally, he exited to find only half of his knights loyal to him, packed and ready to go. The rest were said to have simply shook their heads in shame and continued their march to Highwood. If any of them survive the coming battle, I will spend the rest of my days hunting them down and taking justice for this betrayal, Artus screamed. For days he and his knights rode south, never stopping to rest. Artus's rage pushed him beyond the caring for anything or anyone. His horse died beneath him on the second day. Cursing the foul beast, he took the horse of one of his knights to continue his forced march. His loyal knights followed as best they could. More horses died, simply run into the ground. Others simply stopped running. No amount of urging could get them to move again. Artus took notes of each knight that got left behind, swearing vengeance against them for betraying him. On the fourth day, when the third horse died beneath him, Artus of the Dawn picked himself up out of the dirt and noticed he was completely alone. Of the 100 knights that had set out with him, not a single one still remained by his side. The forest around him shook the power of the curse he swore against those knights. Breathing heavily, he set out on foot. Late into the night, he came across a camp of merchants beside the road. A man keeping guard saw the knight approaching and offered him a warm meal and safe place to rest for the night. "I need only your horse," Artus replied. "I am sorry, Sir Knight, but my companions and I need these horses to pull our wagons." "I am on a holy quest, and you would stand in my way," Artus demanded. The merchant backed up slowly as Artus advanced into the firelight. "By the gods," he gasped as Artus raised his borrowed sword. Covered in a fresh coat of crimson, but with a new horse at his disposal, Artus cursed the camp and its now dead inhabitants for delaying him. He galloped off into the night with his new horse. Dawn saw Artus approaching the gates of Fredericksburg Keep. The sun was a rolling ball of crimson that turned the sky a deep blood red. Artus didn't even notice. The guards, recognizing him, opened the gates, but stood back as far as they could at the frightening image that Artus presented. His armor was nearly black with the dried blood he'd not taken the time to clean off. He burst into the keep, screaming his wife's name, denouncing her as a betrayer and an adulteress. The Lady Frederick was not long in coming down the stairs with her 3 ladies-in-waiting, still trying to tie clothes to her dressing gown. Standing in front of Artus, she welcomed him home. "My husband, welcome home. Is the fight in the north finished at last? Have you survived and come back to me?" "You did not expect me to return," Artus demanded. "Where were you instead, expecting your other lover? Was he to betray me on the field of battle and rush back here to your bed?" His wife gasped. "What have you done, Artus?" "I have uncovered your lies. He told me everything. Your midnight encounters in the wood, your hurried glances at banquet." "My Lord Artus," one of the ladies spoke up, "your wife has never betrayed you." "Of course you would say that. You are in on her betrayal as well." Artus's sword flashed through the air, and the lady-in-waiting fell to the floor beside her own head. "I will have justice for this betrayal," he cried. At the exact same moment, a young squire, wielding the blessed sword of Artus, along with 100 knights who went with him to fight the armies of the Archlich. During a small break in the battle, the knights one and all knelt before the lad and swore on their lives they would see him to the Archlich or die in the attack. The battle they fought raged for hours. A great many of the knights fell, but they took an even greater number of the undead hordes with them. Finally, they broke their way through the lines of personal guards to Gitek himself. The two sides clashed in a roar of human and undead voices. The fighting became a blur to Marcus. He had little in the way of formal training with the sword, but yet he still lived. Several times he thought he was done for, but one of the other knights would throw themselves in front of his attacker, sometimes defeating the attack, other times taking it on themselves. But yet, somehow, Marcus had gone through this battle and had yet to receive a single injury. When there was no one else to defend him, he defended himself. It was as if the sword had a mind of its own, turning aside attacks that Marcus had trained with as if Marcus had trained with the blade all of his life. And then he saw him, the Archlich himself, standing on a raised magical disc, surveying the battlefield where his minions were surely winning. The lad steeled himself, marched over, and shouted a challenge to the Archlich, who in turn ignored him completely. Furious, the lad thrust the sword in the Lich's direction and cried out his challenge once more. Bright light flared from the sword, and the Lich was falling, his magical disc destroyed. Now he noticed the young man. The blazing sword he carried. The mere sight of that sword seemed to pain the Lich. He threw a spell at the young lad, but the sword parried it. The Lich threw another and another, but each time the sword angled and deflected or absorbed the spell, growing brighter after each pass. The squire charged. Time seemed to slow as he approached the Archlich. He knew that at a time like this, the hero always cried out some sort of battle cry to strike fear into the hearts of his enemies. But this young squire could think of no battle cry fitting enough. He got closer, twisting and turning the sword as he went, deflecting spell after spell. A look of surprise seemed to cross Gitek's face as Marcus broke through his defensive barriers. And that single moment of surprise was all it took for the young lad to thrust forward his borrowed sword and stab it into the gut of the Archlich. It was in this moment that the lad finally knew what to say. He pressed up close, driving the sword deeper, and simply whispered, "For Artis." There was an explosion that created what is now called the Northern Wastes. Highwood and the forest that surrounded it ceased to be of existence in the blink of an eye. All that was ever found of the young lad was, supposedly, a single skeletal hand wrapped around the hilt of a mighty sword. As for Gitek, they found his desecrated skull. His entire army was destroyed, much like the forest, just gone in the blink of an eye. The survivors of the battle, of which there were very few, helped those they could, and left the rest to be claimed by the new desert. While this was happening, Artis was in a blood rage, slaughtering his wife's handmaidens. He commanded her to watch as justice was served. Turning to his wife, blood and gore dripping from his sword, he raised high to strike her down. Just as the blow started to fall, blinding holy light surrounded him. The gods spoke to him then, showing him how blind his pride had made him to the lies and tricks of Gitek. He dropped the sword to the ground, and it resonated with a resounding clang. He fell to his knees. Lady Frederick stood over him, her figure glowing in the light. "You see now, husband, how foolish you have been. You have forsaken your quest. You have betrayed your oaths. You have fallen into darkness. All because of pride. Do you now see your folly?" "I see it, my lady. I was blinded by pride. Can you ever forgive me?" Artis demanded. It is not I you must ask for forgiveness. It is her, the Lady Frederick responded, moving to the side and bowing before the cloaked figure behind her. Artus bowed his head as he felt the wrath of the gods themselves fall upon him. You have betrayed us all of us who gave you our blessing. My queen, he stammered. Silence! The figure roared. You have brought this fate upon yourself by avoiding the one we set for you. You are cursed, Artus. From this day until the end of all creation, you will walk this world as but a shadow of yourself. Your life will be one of misery, your failures repeated over and over every night to remind you of our anger. I have spoken, and so your fate shall be. With her final words echoing in his head, Artus felt a pain like he had never experienced before, his entire body suddenly bursting into flames. Flesh burned away as the wrath of the gods washed over him. His armor, almost black with blood, darkened even more from the flames. New strength filled him as the fire subsided. Raising his head, Artus looked into the eyes of his wife, who looked on with shame. Slowly he rose to his feet. He felt the power coursing through his new body, and it filled him with loathing. He watched as the 3 handmaidens he had slain rose up and gathered behind his wife, their forms restored to what they were in life. But Artus could see beyond that. He could see the monsters that he had created. As one, the maidens began to sing, an eerie, haunting sound that filled the castle and the countryside around it with fear. Artus bowed his head under the weight of that song, then slowly made his way to his throne. As he sat, the main doors opened, and in marched his knights, now undead creatures showing the wounds of battle. Artus screamed in frustration as he felt the pain rise up once more. He wished for nothing more than that the tears would flow freely down his face. But the undead do not cry. Death Knights cannot shed tears. Artus of the Dawn, the Lord of Frederick, the last of his line, had become the thing he had spent his entire life fighting against. The ruler of an undead. And if you guys want, I will post that over into our Discord so you can read it at your leisure.
Yeah, please do.
You
Well,
see?
Scar, I must say you're a very good storyteller, but a super biased one.
You see? These are the dangers of monogamy.
Indeed.
Drives people mad.
Also, are you guys who accepted who pledged yourselves to the Raven Queen not kind of afraid that she'll do the same to you if you bail one day?
Well, they haven't really given oaths to the Raven Queen. They have taken up her cause, but haven't really said, hey, we're going to be like dedicated followers of the Raven Queen and never do anything against you or betray you or anything of that nature.
Didn't they say that when they became the champion and the chosen one?
Not really, no.
Alright, good then. Well, also, what's that about punishing the wife for the thing that the man does? That's terrible.
Well, I know the
I,
story
I,
the story didn't really get into it, but Artus did actually kill his own wife. She was brought back to torment him for the rest of his existence.
oh, evil! You woke up,
I woke up.
so you're finally awake.
I am.
Evil,
What happened?
evil has arrived.
Always set your alarms yourself. Don't ask other people to do it.
I woke
That's
up
all
for
right.
the session.
He was early. Should be proud.
Alright, so here are the deets. Basically, we found a keep in Fredericksburg, and inside are two very nice people. Problem:
Oh,
they've been cursed by the Raven Queen, and by
oh,
nightfall, they will probably try to kill us all if we stay inside. But they're so
oh
nice, and they invited us for hospitality. They're in fact the paladin who was supposed to kill Gitek. Arthas, I don't know. One of these is copyrighted.
no! I
And
thought
his
that was
wife.
Tastar.
What? Huh.
Never mind.
Alright. Anyway, he's cursed because on the eve of battle, um, Gitek seeded the thoughts in his head and in his soldier's head that his wife was unfaithful. So he went into a rage and a murder spree, and then came back. And it was his squire who killed Gitek, and the gods got pissed. So they cursed him to walk the earth for all eternity and relive his murder spree.
Oh no!
Uh,
That
And he's
squire deserves a promotion.
kind of creepy.
no, he's nice.
So, if any of you have ever read any of the Dragonlance novels, Artist of the Dawn is loosely based on Lord Soth, who is also a Death Knight.
Cool.
So here's what we can do. We can go to Shade's lair, which is the lair of a dead dragon. Maybe there's loot in it. Or we can try to help out that poor Arthas guy.
Yeah, but how can we help him out? It sounds like the Raven Queen wants him exactly where he is, so there's nothing I can do.
Well, that sounds like a job for the Scooby Gang.
She said he has to stay like that until the end of creation, so I don't think that's now.
It wasn't
Unless, yeah.
just the Raven Queen that cursed him. It was all of the gods whose help that he sought.
Yeah,
Ah,
literally all of the gods.
Well,
Easy
not
okay.
peasy.
wasn't all of the gods. In the end, it was only 5. There were 5 gods that blessed his sword. Hence, the sword broken into 5 pieces. The Raven Queen, the mistress of fate, was the one who was chosen to hand out his punishment, though it was sanctioned and empowered by all of the gods that had entrusted him with their power.
Well, it sounds like the only way to truly end it would be to talk it out with these gods. They seem quite
What?
reasonable and they seem to like you, Alphonse.
Reasonable? They punished his wife to eternal torment, and she did nothing.
That's pretty harsh.
Gods are bad people, driven mad with power, just like my professors at the academy. So we've gotta stick it up to the man.
gods, gods are nothing but children with magnifying glasses.
Exactly.
Well, the thing is, I kind of have this deal with the Raven Queen, so I would rather not mess with Arthas right now. Maybe I can talk to her and try to talk some reason.
Would you talk some reason to an all-powerful entity? I think she'd turn you into an ant for even the hubris of considering that.
Or maybe you are
No,
right.
she liked us. She liked us. I think we can talk to her.
Yeah, I know, and listen out, I like her too. We had a drinking competition. But that doesn't mean I gotta give ground every time they do some injustice. Aren't we good people? God damn it. What happened to our morals? Our
No,
fortitude?
we're definitely not good people.
Think of it
What?
this way. Think of it this way. What can we do anyway? We go in there, we kill Arthas, and then they'll just revive him because they're gods, remember?
What?
Actually, I have a plan. I have 2 plans, but one of them sounds less lousy than the first. How about, since the curse was to relive every night his failure, we just prevent that for one night? Just give him one night where he doesn't fail.
Scar just sort of laughs and. Have you ever tried to stop a banshee from?
Mm, no.
I wouldn't.
Banshee, is that a
I wouldn't
pop?
suggest it.
It can't be too hard. I'm
You
a
should at
wizard,
least give it a
goddammit.
try.
Yeah. I'll just pop off the silence spell, and that'll be it.
Maybe we can plug her ears.
Yeah.
Oh, I like the idea.
Alright, so I'm going to need. Let's see.
But you know what? Is the wife even suffering? Because for all we know, it might not even be the actual wife there.
Well, she seemed like a nice person, so I don't know.
It's hard to tell, really. I mean, can we just go up to her and ask if she's real? Well, how will that even work?
Well,
She was creepy. She was creepy as well.
I'm pretty sure
Well,
she is real. Because she
people
does
being
use
creepy
magic.
is not an excuse to not make friends.
Alright, so
Oh,
here's
you're
the
right.
plan. We get inside there. We offer them our professional help, which they'll be sure to reward. We tell them we're going to give them one night where they don't relive this failure. To do this, we're going to sequester the wife into a tiny hut so that nobody can get inside there and kill her. And while that happens, for the entire duration of the night, I shall be ritual casting the silence spell so that we don't hear her deafening screams, and you just like keep her tied up or whatever so she's safe and snug.
So
Sounds good?
your solution is tying her up and like silencing her?
Yeah. Listen,
Doesn't really sound like a good night.
the wrath of the gods is like a wave, a tsunami even, crashing down on us. And it keeps coming back because it has all this momentum and reflux built. But if we just withstand it one night, then maybe we can weaken the curse.
Oh, so you want to interrupt the circle?
Exactly.
Oh, this is bold. Oh,
Scar just sits back, folds his arms. All gonna die.
I heard that one before.
Well, I think I would not do anything that might undermine the Haven Queen, so I'm out.
SMH.
I mean, I just arrived from just having a little walk in the woods, so I'm not really sure about the situation, but I trust Alphonse's wisdom. And it doesn't sound like, a nice thing to do to condemn someone to eternal damnation, even if they messed up a bit.
So, evil. This was Lord Frederick.
Oh.
Yeah, we had a nice lunch with him.
He treated us
And
well.
then
We're not sure what we ate though.
But his eyes are red, it's the color of love.
this was the Lady Frederick.
Is that a laugh track?
That would be Echo from Evil.
Oh, let me see if I can fix that. Is it better?
I don't hear anything.
Alright, good. Man, did she always have tentacles?
So
I
she
didn't.
used
I
some
didn't see
illusion.
tentacles.
She used
I
some
was.
illusion to look different than this.
All right, but essentially the idea is to break the curse. By making
Well,
sure it's not happening for one night, right?
exactly.
Or at the very least, give them just a night to, catch their breath.
Yeah, something like that. Maybe just this tiny bit of goodness in the cycle will grow like a mighty goodness baobab.
Exactly. We need to spread the goodness.
Oh, and can we do that in a way that the Raven Queen is not kind of like really, really angry with us?
Well,
It's like it was an eternity ago. Surely she forgot about this guy.
we have some brownie points with the Raven Queen, and brownies are for sharing.
I like that. I'm getting hungry again.
Oh yeah, let's have some lunch first.
How can we actually contact her? Can we kind of like say, hey, Ravy, we need a talk?
I mean, we can try.
Yeah, I can probably conjure that up. I would need some time though.
You have so many skills, Alphonse.
I believe there was a spell for it.
When you said you need some time, is that measured in minutes or days?
I could probably have it ready by the morning.
Should we check out Shade's lair in the meanwhile?
During the night? Hell
Oh.
yes.
Can we offer something to the Raven Queen in exchange? Kind of like, let these two go, and we are kind of like your new buddies.
What?
But we're already your buddies.
You
Yeah, I mean,
wanna
I kind of like
damn us
the
to eternal servitude?
what is this? Something about eternal. I don't want to break the circle, but maybe kind of like we take care for the G-Tech problem this time, and we promise to do that, and you let them kind of like take their final rest.
Hmm.
But they're gonna think we're double crossing them because we already agreed to take care of the G-Tech problem.
Indeed.
I say, don't ask for permission. Ask for forgiveness.
And I don't think someone would have problems forgiving someone for trying to help out another soul.
Right? Actually, there's probably a dozen or souls involved in this, but yeah.
Were all of those people getting killed also trapped in there?
Yeah, pretty much night after night.
I
Ah,
won't do anything unless the Queen gives us express permission to relieve those souls.
Alright. You have left me no choice but to contact the Queen. I shall do so immediately.
Thought you needed until morning.
That's because I was considering whether it was wise. Now, I shall need multiple powerful rituals. Now, I will start one immediately. Raven Queen, should we do this task? Wait for a sign. You see in the clouds, they're forming up to the words, go for it, bro.
We're bros
Fire
with the
blast.
Raven Queen!
Yes.
Did you hear that, Elfric?
Oh, my Queen is telling me to do it. That's why she led me here. The
Yes.
Queen is great. The Queen is merciful. Alright, how do we do this, Alphonse?
Alright. I
Go
think
team!
first of all, we offer them help, right? Because we can't help if they refuse.
Yes.
We offer them one night of rest to break the cycle. What we do is we set up in positions. I cast the tiny hut for the entire duration of the night, so that when we're inside with the lady, the evil paladin can't get in, right? Because he isn't allowed. While that's happening, I will be concentrated during the entire night on the silence spell. And that's useful because apparently she's a banshee, according to Scar. So we won't hear each other. So we'll have to like coordinate via sign language or guessing. So that'll be fun. You guys hold her down, prevented them from killing us or whatever. And maybe I can pop in a few magic circles to be safer.
I can probably help out with a little bit as well, but only tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, this is the
Perhaps.
night right now, so it's like tomorrow we come to them during the day, and during the night we break the cycle.
Maybe an easier path is to because the whole problem is that Mr. Frederick got got uh, got these messages in his head from Getek servants. Was that it? Maybe we could give him a sign like maybe produce even something like the Raven Queen just did, if we have the power to do so, and be like, yo, don't worry about it. Yo, you're getting tricked. Just stay true to your path and stuff. Something like
Mhm.
that.
And if all else fails, I still have Plan C.
What's Plan C?
I can't divulge it right now. It'll have
Oh,
to it'll have to stay a secret. But
of
it
course.
probably won't work, so prepare to bail. Actually, I should probably buy a teleportation spell or whatever from Artemis, just in case everything goes south. Alright?
But my understanding then is we only do this if there is full consent from all involved parties, correct?
Oh, yes, obviously we can't, help them if they don't want help.
Mm,
Right. So
Plus, think
how
about it.
about we do both? We appeal to the we appeal to Mr. Frederick to you know trust his wife and trust in the gods and carry through with the mission, and we protect the Lady Frederick and keep her safe in the hut. Because what happens is that he goes into the hut and he like murders people. Is that what happens?
Ulfric knows of a
Yeah.
different way to do this.
Ooh,
They would cost us 10,000 gold.
10,000 gold!
10,000 gold.
That's not a
How?
lot. What is it? Oh, we'd buy them off.
See, this. And Ulfric takes out his bag of holding. This. He takes off his backpack. You know what happens when one goes into the other?
Oh my god. But that's killing Alfric.
Oh, it's not. They are teleported to a different plane, but still alive. Think? I never tried.
Right, that's fair. Well,
I'm not going to make the investment though.
before we start this, does anyone want a bucket list of spell scrolls or items that they'll be needing for this? I'm buying.
Oh, that's very
Well,
kind of you.
buying from who?
I recently opened the traveling magic item shop.
Oh, like the one Glavuli has.
Exactly, yes. Except it's not fancy or anything. Like, I don't go into like a
You have
basement.
you have goggles of night.
I don't have goggles of night. Would you like some?
Would like some.
All right. 1 goggles of night. Anything else?
Uh,
Magic
Can,
takeout.
can you
Magic what?
Can you follow up on my armor?
Follow up on your armor. Yes.
can you get me a commune spell scroll?
All right. I'm gonna need to write this down.
Maybe like a magic donut.
So you see Alphonse take down a pen, and he's like, "Dear Santa, please, 1 magic goggles, 1 commune spell scroll, follow up on door armor. Yes.
You.
Maybe you should specify what sort of magic goggles.
Oh,
Dark
of
vision
night
ones.
vision, of dark vision. Anything else?
Magic donut?
What is a magic donut?
Maybe
I
maybe a
don't
cup.
know.
Maybe a carpet of flying could be useful, so we can all get away.
Veto on that one. I don't want to push Santa too far.
Alright.
So when did you meet Santa, Alphonse?
Oh, during one of my many travels.
That's so impressive. Santa's like one of the people with the most friends in the entire world.
Yes, indeed. Would you guys remember what spell it was? God damn it, I forgot. Teleportation, but that allows me to take you with me.
Dimension door.
The
Oh my god.
dimension door?
Is
Damn
it
it, I said it
Dimension
out
Door
loud.
solo?
Nope. Dimension door. You can take someone. You can take a medium up to a medium creature with you.
Thunderstep as well. Thunderstep is more thundery.
Yeah, and then there's also the Astral Gate. What was the name?
Yeah, that's maybe that's might be a bit too high.
As the door's going for big firepower.
Yeah.
Well, since we're talking about it, let's just go 9th level spells.
No, there's
Alright.
another one. I don't mean gate, but
Astral projection.
no,
3
there's
dimension door scrolls. 1 silence scroll. And the last one, which I'm going to need.
Inside the scroll of silence.
Oh, should have been a bard.
Should have been a bard. Do you know that spell where you can like put an illusion in the mind of somebody? What is it again?
In the mind of someone. Like a suggestion?
Yes, but no. It's one that usually damages them.
Geese?
I'm horrifying something.
the spell I was talking about, I was thinking about, was Arcane Gate. It's a level 6 spell. It
That's above
creates-
my pay grade, sadly. But I believe Santa will probably give me, yes, Phantasmal Force.
Yep.
There we go. This is what
That's
we
the one.
need for a good psychology. Alright, so you see Alphonse write all this, put it in an envelope, put it under his pillow, and then try to fall asleep. I'll see you tomorrow, everybody.
Alright. Sleep tight.
Alphonse will actually slip it into his container of Santa, as well as his pouch of gold.
Okay. Get just over 2 hours. Okay. Oh,
Oh, I forgot. 1 magic circle spell scroll. This one is very important.
Let's see here. Let me break out Artis's price lists and availabilities. Because yes, I have a list. Alphonse was trying to get me to just arbitrarily give him a bunch of scrolls and stuff, and I said, "No, you need to pick out scrolls that you want, man."
Imagine having imagination.
Let's see. So, the heck does Alphonse need goggles of night for? All of you have dark vision.
Alfred asked for them.
Okay.
That's for Alfric. He has superior dark vision, but now he will have extra superior dark vision.
Okay, so magic goggles of dark vision.
Can that be in the... Can it be like a porcelain mask? Santa take visual instructions.
Have you been a good or a naughty boy?
Want it to look like one of those the Raven Queen porcelain masks.
Ooh, like a raven's beak.
Hey, you know what? Maybe I'll change it on the road for you. I'm pretty sure I can do that.
Just change some goggles into a mask.
Yeah.
Put them into the mask.
Let's see. Fifth level spell scroll. Man, those aren't cheap.
But the dimension doors, I figure we can use later. They'll be a good investment. The other ones are low-level spells.
All right, so instead of me trying to write all this stuff up, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start shouting some numbers out at you. If somebody can jot them down or post them into the chat or something like that. Your goggles of night, the goggles of night are going to cost you 1,500 gold. The commune spell is 1,280 gold.
All right.
What else did we have in here? Dimension door, right?
Yep.
Dimension door. 4th level spell. Oh, there you go. Unfortunately, she only has 2 scrolls of Dimension Door. A third can be created, but it will take 2 days. They are 640 gold apiece.
So 1280 for both.
Island spell scroll, which is only 2nd level. On her list, she actually has 7 of those in stock.
1 is enough. Actually, let's take like 3 then.
200 gold apiece.
All right, 600 gold for the 3.
And Phantasmal Force.
That's a level 2 spell.
Phantasmal Force is a level 2 spell, so it's another 200 gold for a level 2 spell. And then the last one was
Magic Circle.
Magic Circle.
That's a level 3.
And that is level 3. And a level 3 spell scroll costs 320 gold. And you are in luck. She actually has 1.
So lucky.
You actually
300,
are.
you
She
said?
Yeah, 320. You're actually lucky she had everything on your list except for the dimension door. She only had 2.
Alright, so when I total that up, that's 1,780, 4, 560, 5,600, 5,860, 6,000, 6,200. Alright, so 620 platinum. I pay that. And when we awaken, you will see neatly wrapped gifts for everyone.
How the hell you still got so much platinum?
I don't know, I'm rich like that. I don't spend a lot. Like everybody buys magic items, I wanted to buy scrolls. So I have 2,000 plat.
Ooh.
I have
I briefly lost them during
3,500
the.
platinum.
So 320.
5,180.
Did I miscalculate?
You did.
I paid more then. Fuck.
You did. You overpaid. She's very happy.
Well, I already removed it, so sorry, I guess. Wish I had taken math at the academy.
Little bonus for Santa.
Alright. Oh.
The rest was for the taxman.
Oh.
Look at Alphonse paying his taxes.
Now, Alfric, I believe these are your goggles from Santa. He
Ah,
wanted the commune spell.
eh.
You too?
Oh, I was the one who asked for it.
Let me check Santa's list.
Yes, I did.
Is it commune? Yeah, sorry, they didn't have that one. Ah. Hey, maybe it's just late. Maybe the reindeers are gonna come with it.
No, 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 you had it in your head.
This. Let me check if that was it. Slippity slippy. What's in my sleeves? They're empty. I believe this one is Phantasmal Force. This one is Silence. And
Yeah,
flippity floppity.
deception.
Where's my sleight of hand? Oh, there you go.
Oof.
Oh,
I can see it, it's right there. It's fine.
Look.
I won't waste it. I know what you're worried about. I will wait for us to make our plans, and then I will check. Raven Queen, is this plan good? Should we change something? And then she'll give us advice. It's great.
That's a
I
great
trust
idea.
you. But like I know my plan. It's great, right? Anyway, here it is for you. Door. Here you have. Do we have a letter of something? Which is a follow-up on the armor.
Okay.
I was asking Damon.
The follow up on the armor is still being worked upon. You've literally been gone a day.
Now, dimension door. I shall give one of the spell scrolls to you, Alfric, and one of the spell scrolls to Evil.
To me.
Now, the plan is, yes, because me and Door, Door can turn into a bird and fly away, while I can just attempt teleporting and stuff.
And
So
I
if
can
the
turn into a bird? I
Can't
need to
you?
try.
No, not yet.
What? Not even like a small peacock? Or
No,
perhaps
no.
a pheasant?
Hmm.
A pigeon?
No,
Flightless bird.
lemonade. Yeah.
You turn into a penguin.
Penguin, exactly.
Also, so escaping for you is
An emu.
a bit harder.
Perhaps you could
Well,
turn into a mouse and fly away on the back of Misty.
Yeah,
Alright,
I
so
could do something like that. Yeah.
the dimension doors will require checks, so we have to be strategic about it. Like technically they can carry all of us, but if one fails, then we're going to have to get creative. Right. As for the silence and the phantasmal force, I copy into my spellbook and I ready for the day.
Okay, how long does it take you to copy a spell into your spellbook?
Oh, like 20 minutes, not even.
I thought there was a set time.
This map is too loud. I can't hear you guys.
Second, and I will fix that. Ambient noises off.
All right, so in the morning we head to Fredericksburg.
Indeed. Let's break this vicious cycle.
Now remember, we try to kill no one. You
Of
know,
course.
when he came, he said that even he was attached to the like his form of undeadness, and he didn't want to die. So I assume death is not a price he's ready to pay for being free of the curse.
If anyone should die, it's him. He committed 2 different sins. Sin
He was
of enforcing monogamy, and then
yes,
also the sin of betraying the queen.
that's true. Although he was tricked, I assume, into the second one, and maybe even into the first one.
Think he was tricked into monogamy?
Well, yes, that's how they train paladins. They just teach them lies about marriage and honor.
Ah. Perhaps you have a point. Is there a god of like marriage?
To
Uh,
probably
Saloon or something like that, I think. I
Ah,
don't know.
the
I don't know all of the 5e gods that well.
like the goddess of the
Mm.
moon. You're right. She does weddings too.
tricks of Saloon.
I spit on her.
But why?
She's actually pretty nice, I believe.
Yeah, Tor, you were married. Do you have any like input on how we can I don't know, resolve this conflict?
Oh, not really. My marriage didn't really end well, right?
Yes, and neither did his. Perhaps you can talk about it, and like maybe share some advice.
No, I can try that.
All right, so
Smart.
what are you guys
I
actually
was
doing?
I was searching for spell in the spell compendium. I found
Um,
counterspell.
So if you use the DDB spells, like
Oh, are those one better?
it's like literally every single spell period. It's the D&D Beyond spell importer.
Well, they don't have silence.
Really?
Yep.
Sure they do. Just gotta spell it right.
How do you spell silence?
Silence.
That's what I wrote. Oh, I'm checking my DDB spells. Maybe that's the wrong one.
No, just DDB spells.
Let's see. Yeah, I see it.
Okay. So for some reason it brought up this spell called Jim's Magic Missile. What's the difference between Magic Missile and Jim's Magic Missile?
Oh, the gyms are slightly shittier. I love everything about Acquisitions Incorporated.
Yeah.
any
There's a lot of good stuff
any
there.
apprentice wizard can cast a boring old magic missile. Sure, it always strikes his target. Yawn. Do away with the drudgery of your grandfather's magic with this improved version of the spell used by Jim Dark Magic. You create 3 twisting, whistling, hypoallergenic, gluten-free darts of magical force. Each dart targets a creature of your choice that you can see within range. Make a ranged spell attack for each missile. On a hit, the missile deals 2d4 damage to its target. If the attack roll scores a critical hit, the target of that missile takes 5d4 force damage instead of you rolling damage twice for a critical hit. If the attack roll for any missile is a 1, all missiles miss their targets and blow up in your face, dealing 1 force damage per missile to you. Okay.
It's really good. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
This is
pretty
what
good.
magic
Hey,
should
so
be
it's
like.
it's pretty considerate toward gluten intolerant enemies.
Yes.
Oh Lord, we had one of those people come into the restaurant today that they can't have eggs, they can't have milk, they can't have cheese, they can't have gluten, they can't have butter. So they wanted to know what we could do to meet their dietary needs, and we asked them it would be much easier if you could tell me what you can eat. Raw fruits and vegetables. Nothing cooked.
Salad.
Oh, yeah.
Like salad bars
Oh,
right there.
really? Most of the allergic people I know have like the opposite, where they can't eat the raw thing, but they can eat the cooked thing.
Well, she couldn't eat anything that we cooked because, you know, they cook the green beans in butter and oils, and
Ah, true.
I think she was full of herself. Come in there with some super special diet and expect us just to meet your dietary needs. You know,
Well,
it's not a real restaurant, it's a cafeteria. Just make
gentlemen, I am
real
ready.
restaurant food.
Are you ready for the Witcher episode, TM?
Wait, are we doing a Witcher episode?
Yeah,
Yeah.
now that we read it, I want Jim's magic missile. How do I get Jim's magic missile?
I
You have to
feel like
meet
we're getting sidetracked.
you have to meet Jim.
Maybe he can upgrade my wand to be a wand of Jim's magic missiles.
Oh, I
Santa
know Jim.
probably knows Jim.
He was a star at the academy.
Oh wait, I already know Jim.
Jim hangs out with Robert.
Yeah.
Ah, let's go find Robert.
Don't
Alright,
forget
well, are we
don't
ready
forget to tell
for-
Evil about Robert.
I still don't
Oh,
know who
yes.
Robert is.
That's the point. You forgot about him because of the false Hydra.
What kind of name is Robert?
A cruel one.
It's like,
His
It's
parents
like-
weren't very nice.
it's like you're a robber.
At least they didn't name him Richard.
A robber.
Well, shall we go?
So what's the plan, guys? You gotta fill me in on the plan here, or I can't make it happen or not happen.
So,
In the morn, we go to Fredericksburg and offer our help to rid them of the curse.
yes, and then we split up into teams. I think with 2 of us going to try to have Mr. Frederick see reason, and the other 2 are going to protect the wife, something like that.
Okay.
We should all probably protect the wife because, you don't wanna be toe to toe with that like demon lord paladin guy.
So,
Plus,
and
we
you-
can all be safe.
Yeah, you're
Yes?
bringing up the hut, right?
Yeah, I will bring up the hut before nightfall.
Good.
I see dice are being rolled, our fate being decided.
I think one of us should still go with Mr. Frederick, perhaps. I do have that dimension door scroll. Me and Door could go there, and then I could dimension Door and me to
That
the
is-
the hut.
You could try. Actually, you can't teleport into the hut.
Could I
But
teleport outside the hut?
you could try, yes. But since he is condemned to relive a nightmare, then chances are, if we just have his wife inside the hut, he'll be at the door all night trying to kill us.
Wait, who? The guy. Yes. Well, m- maybe he will like punch the door a bunch, and then the night will pass, and then his rage will be done, and he won't have committed atrocities.
Perhaps.
But wouldn't it be better to hold him then in the hut instead of
Hut is
her?
Uh,
not the hut is not great at holding stuff in. It's only good at holding stuff out.
I was more hoping we could hold the wife because maybe easier.
But he can then still go and attack the maidens, right?
We can have the maidens inside the hut, maybe. They'll probably be zombies of some sort too.
I think it's still a better idea to kind of like try to lock him down somehow.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
if they agree, we can probably just all tie them up for the night.
yeah, I mean, we said earlier that all of them need to agree to it anyway. Then maybe we can just take some rope, some shackles, some manacles. I don't know.
Yeah,
We can still sit inside the hut to make sure that if the thing goes down, we are on the safe in a safe bubble.
all right, fair enough then. You, Scar, do you want to join in this good deed, or are you just disinterested in the cause of goodness?
Gods no. I still think you're all going to die.
Want to bet on it?
No,
1,000
because
platinum says you're wrong.
then I'd probably have to kill you myself.
That's
That is true, you are.
no fair.
Yeah, that is no fair.
I don't like to lose.
Neither do I. Hey, this could be a gimmick for tonight's plan. If Scar is trying to kill us while we do it, and if we live, we gain money.
I don't need
I don't
money.
see your enthusiasm.
I'll have no part in trying to fool the Fredericks.
We're not trying to
No,
fool them. We're
we're
trying to
not
make a
fooling
series
him.
of.
Trying to make a deal. And we help them, as the Raven Queen commanded.
Exactly.
Good luck with that.
All right, then let us set forth.
Indeed. Which way is it?
To the right.
It's to the right.
To the right.
Alright, so I'll show Evil the key art.
Ooh. Yes, I believe we looked at this earlier too.
Were you there for that?
We showed
last
it to
session,
us
yes.
last session.
Oh, okay. Okay. So then we'll just go on to Fredericksburg. You guys did wait till the next day, or are you going at night?
We
Oh,
waited
we're
for
going
next
to
day.
the
Wait.
day. We're not crazy.
We had to wait for Santa.
Exact.
Yeah, and I need to change some spells. So, next day.
Okay,
Yes,
and we'll
speaking
give
of which,
Evil a token.
it looks like I'm not like on full HP, so I'll just take a long rest.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
should.
we had a long rest.
Yeah, you should all have a long rest.
So, Lord and Lady Frederick, um,
Ah, you've returned. Did you find what you seek at Shade's lair?
we didn't
Oh.
go there yet because
Quest was
after we
paused.
had left, we felt terribly, terribly sorry for having refused your invitation and thought perhaps we could come back and see if there is any way we could help.
Help with what
Heard
exactly?
the story. We heard the story and we were wondering whether perhaps we could be of assistance in a way that pleases both you and your husband.
We wish to free you of this dreadful curse, which forces you every night to relive the punishment that the gods have imposed on you, which we found most unfair.
Especially on your lady wife.
He watches. Artist growls softly, grinds his hand around the pommel of his sword. There is but one way to. I must fulfill my vow, God. I must face Archlich.
Huh.
You
Only
wish to come with us and face the Archlich then?
Yes, we're going to kill him. He's coming back.
there has been no word of this.
Do you get a lot of news from this place?
You would be surprised.
I might have seen him. Not 100% sure. I was teleported to this weird meeting room where there was this big head eating souls.
Yes, and we've been tracking his servants all over.
Chase rumors and shadows. You will know if the Archlich has returned. The land will descend into chaos. His armies of undead will sweep across cities, laying them to waste and ruin.
So we should stop that.
Yeah,
Sort of, but we have to wait for him to actually properly return so our friend here can fulfill his oath and be freed.
but what if we kill him before?
Well, we cannot because Artus will be sad. Right?
That is true.
I look over at Artus.
Well, artists, we still have a proposition that might help. The gods have condemned you to be punished every night. But what if we did our best to stop it for just one night and give you one night of relief?
But the
Break the
vacation.
cycle of violence, so to speak. Would you be open to this?
Cannot be.
How do you know that it cannot be done?
Did not say that it cannot be done. Said that it cannot be.
How so?
I broke my oath to the gods. I will not betray them again by avoiding the punishment they have rightly thrust upon me. I am honor bound to walk this path until the gods see fit for it.
But respectfully, sir, do your servants, does your wife deserve to take part in this punishment? You must recognize their innocence.
My wife is my goaler. You think me a prisoner here? Or her? It is with her own great pleasure that she stays here. The gods offered her, and she accepted.
So, my lady, why do you wish us to stay the night?
because
No,
it has
as
been
the
so very long since we had guests.
Will you kill us though if we stay the night?
Not on purpose.
Well, that sounds inviting enough.
if we
I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
if we kill you back not on purpose, who will be the jailer of Arthas then?
Indeed. Then perhaps what they say is true. It is best to avoid us. I must
Well,
thank you for
that-
your offer, though. Offering my husband release from his nightly torment. You say you seek the Archlich and his destruction.
Indeed.
We do.
Correct.
Then know this. You have found an ally here. When the time comes, send word, and my husband will ride forth to your aid.
That is
Aha!
most gracious.
That sounds
So,
like a
so
good
the
plan.
so
A
the
gift
repeat
for
of
the one you have
torment
offered.
thing, it doesn't involve Gitek. So we can't slay an illusory Gitek or something.
Yeah, that was my plan with Phantasmal Force. Actually, would you like to try it?
Elrond, that's a very cool plan.
Yeah, I got all pumped up with this plan of like resisting the assaults of the undead and in a broken castle from dusk till dawn.
Unfortunately, the majority of your spells would likely fail against my husband.
How
One
come?
of the blessings of his curse.
But perhaps he could fail on purpose?
Yeah.
I think he would see that as cheating the gods. I don't think there's anything else we can do here. Let's go
No,
to
on
Shade's
the
lair and send word
contrary.
once we
Think
find
about it.
Gitek.
Well,
His
I don't see
failing
it.
his failing was to be persuaded that his wife was committing adultery. Now, what could bring balance if not persuade him that he has killed Gitek?
Indeed, he was punished for breaking his oath. If anything, it would be a great either a great training exercise or uh, a step towards redemption. I don't think
Demonstration
the
of
gods would
loyalty.
oppose to it.
Uh, I'm not convinced the gods would see it that way.
Not convinced my husband would see it that way.
Hmm.
You must understand there is a great rage that seethes just below the surface of Artus. The fact that he has not already tried to slay you shows the power of his will. He despises the living.
Oh well. So there's really nothing we can try to do. Yet, I mean.
Yet, again, in return for your kindness of your offer, if and when the time comes that you are ready to face the Archlet, send word. Artus and his hordes will ride forth.
Alright,
He,
undead
his
versus undead.
his hordes. Oh,
Yes, he has a bunch of
okay,
skeletons.
okay.
I will make
I
a note of it, and perhaps that could also be absolution if he helps us defeat Gitek.
perhaps. Oh, thank you for your hospitality.
One final question, my lady. Could you or your husband's power perhaps pierce through the spell Tiny Hut? Or is it impervious to your assaults?
Tiny hut.
No.
Tiny Hut is ridiculously strong. Like
Tiny hut
that's-
is ridiculously strong. A 10-foot radius immobile dome of force springs into existence around and above you and remains stationary for the duration. Spell ends if you leave its area. 9 creatures of medium size or smaller can fit inside the dome without you or with you. The spell fails if the area includes a larger creature or more than 9 creatures. Creatures and objects within the dome when you cast a spell can move freely through it. All other creatures and objects are barred from passing through it. Spells and other magical effects can't extend through the dome or be cast through it. The atmosphere inside the space is complex. I'm sure there's a way around it, but
Dispel magic. Level 3 dispel magic takes care of it.
yeah, say a spell magic would probably get rid of it, but probably nothing that a banshee or a death knight can do get through it.
All right, so that means we can accept your hospitality whenever you invite us, perhaps on our way back, and actually stay the night in relative safety.
I mean, you could hang out in the hut too, so maybe at least you would get a night of vacation.
I
Actually,
think she might be part of the danger.
let me look
Right.
at something. Let's see. The Lady Frederickburg. Not in sunlight. Does your tiny hut stop sound?
No.
Probably not, but I can cast the silence spell.
Yeah, no, you probably don't want to hang out around Lady Fredericksburg in your tiny hut. just saying, she's got a killer singing voice.
I can cast the silence spell all night.
We can have a karaoke night.
Yeah.
I would say maybe let's just go to this Shades Lair place.
Yeah, we will. But on the way back, let's spend the night here, just for fun.
Yeah, that sounds like a plan.
Just for funsies.
Yeah.
Just for funsies.
Just for funsies.
I don't
All
see
right.
the point of doing that.
What will the bards sing about us if we don't do this sort of stuff? Right?
We should get a bard.
Yeah, we should get a bard.
You should
I
get a
think that was
bard.
Robert's job.
If you guys happen to know of
Oh.
anybody that wants to come in and, you know, run a single session or something with us, by all means, we can always use a guest. Until then, are you guys moving on to Shade's Lair?
So
Go
Yeah,
to
Shade's
sounds
Shades
like
Lair.
it.
Hmm?
Now, fortunately for you, what's his face over there, Scar, has a general idea of where it's at once you show him the map that Lady Fredericksburg gave you. And he is indeed able to guide you to it within a day.
What do you mean? We can't guide ourselves with a map? How stupid are we?
Well,
Very stupid.
Well,
I mean, I haven't really used a map before.
well, technically it's on the way back to Needham Mullum, so he actually goes back to the main road with you, shows you the path, says follow that path, you'll find a cave. And then that's it. He's parting ways with you.
Right. By the way, were you really a vampire?
He just sort of hisses at you.
I knew it.
And
4
then gives you-
points for vampires.
and then gives you the
Yeah.
finger as he walks away.
That was
See
a
you
dragon
later.
finger. That was a dragon finger, my friend.
That was a vampire. There's literally no clue that he was a dragon. You just like
What's a
stupid in the
vampire
head. What's
finger look
going on?
like?
Yeah. Look at his nails, for God's sake. Sharp nails.
Just
Dragon
walking out,
claws.
just walking out in the sunshine, and you know, he's got a he's got a good SPF.
Yeah.
Ever since the ozone burned away, it's not safe to go outside without SPF 5000.
Oh no, did Geotech destroy the ozone layer?
Right. So what we're gonna do is I am going to pause the game. I am going to preload a scene for you guys. I'm going to show you the entrance to the cave. You guys can see just a little bit of what's going on in there.
My night vision hasn't updated, by the way. I don't know if I can change that.
What's it supposed to be now?
100. Oh right, 180. You already had 120.
180. Good lord, man. I almost changed it to 80,120. There you go.
There are a lot of bones here in the corner.
Oh yeah, that is a big pile of bones. Or is that just rubble?
The map's still black for me.
Map is still black for you. Do you not have any dark vision?
I do.
Do you have 60?
Is it
Ah, now
not
I see
working?
things.
Now you see things?
Yes.
So this
You know,
is going
guys,
this is going to be our map for next week. If anybody's watching the stream, you get to see a whole lot more of it than they do.
Oh.
what are all those things?
They're small, they're scaly, and they
Oh
don't
my
speak
God,
and they
they're
don't speak so
rats.
and they don't speak so good.
Baby dragons.
Dragon
Maybe
rats.
it's Scar's babies.
But that is where we're going to call it a night, guys. It's been 3 hours in. And I unfortunately have to work tomorrow.
This
So,
is so sad we didn't get the Ghostbusters episode.
Yeah.
nope, you didn't get the Ghostbusters episode. Sorry, guys.
We will
Bust
find
the
other
ghost
ways to
next
defy the
time.
will of the gods, don't worry.
So, I want to
Alphonse
thank
is an expert in defying the will of the gods.
Yes.
I want to thank everybody over on Twitch for hanging out with us, watching with us. I want to thank you guys for coming and playing with us. And when we go to end scene, please don't run away. We have a few things to talk about, especially since Evil wasn't here earlier.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Until
Alright.
then, good night, guys, and we will see you in 2 weeks. No, next week. We'll see you next week. Sorry, next
Yep.
week.
Yes.
We'll see you next week.
See you next week.
See ya.
See ya.
Have a good one.